everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimale in Abuja. Let's get started, everyone, and let's tell you that the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, today flagged off their presidential campaign in Jos Plateau State, where the President Muhammadu Buhari was in attendance alongside key leaders of the party. Well, it's now time for us to check some of your political roundup stories.
The governor of Enugu State, Mr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, is urging members of the State PDP Campaign Council to show commitment in mobilizing support for the party and all its candidates. Speaking at the inauguration of the State PDP Campaign Council in Enugu, the governor says he believes that the PDP will emerge victorious, noting that the achievements of his administration as governor are enough to secure victory for the party.
It is everybody's business to sell our party. It is also my expectation that our campaign will leverage the stellar performance of the current PDP government in the state.
Justice Obiora Egwuatu of the Federal High Court Abuja has nullified All Progressives Congress primary that produced Senator Emmanuel Bacha as its governorship candidate for the general election next year. Delivering the ruling, Justice Egwuatu declared that based on submissions made before him by all concerned parties, the purported primary election conducted by APC on the 26th of May this year, upon which the party announced Senator Emmanuel Bacha of APC Taraba South as its candidate for the 2023 governorship election, was a nullity. The ruling was instituted by the senator representing Taraba Central, Mr. Yusuf Yusuf. Meanwhile, Senator Yusuf Yusuf has been reacting to the court ruling.
All the infractions, hitherto done by parties is now very, very clear that they cannot do that and run away with it like before.
The Yobe State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Aruna Garba, has warned political parties against the use of dangerous weapons as they go about their campaigns across the state. Mr. Garba stated these at the stakeholders meeting with leaders of political parties, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), and heads of security agencies in Damaturu, the state capital. There are concerns about the possibility of violence in Kogi State as we get closer to the voting days of the 2023 elections. A group known as the Arewa Women in Politics in the state has held a press conference where they condemned some of the violent activities they attribute to the supporters of Governor Yaya Bello. The group alleges that the governor and his supporters have consistently made deliberate attacks against the senatorial candidate of Kogi Central Senatorial District and the PDP. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress APC Kogi State chapter has called on the National Peace Committee, chaired by retired General Abdulsalami Abubakar, to disregard a purported notice of threat to peace and security issued by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the state. The PDP Kogi State chapter had on the 27th October 2022, through the state chairman of the party, Samuel Uwotu, petitioned the committee alleging of threat to peace and security by Kogi State government. More trouble brewing in Kogi State as the candidate of the PDP for Kogi Central, Ms. Natasha Akpoti-Oduahan, has filed a 5 billion naira defamation suit against the Kogi State government, Governor Yaya Bello, and the Commissioner of Information, Kingsley Fanwo. Ms. Natasha Akpoti is suing, amongst other things, that the persons listed above jointly defamed her over publication on terrorism tag.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Seems to be, we'll begin with some controversies tonight. Reactions have continued to trade the statement and the article by the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo. The governor had gone for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, saying Mr. Peter Obi cannot win in the 2023 presidential race. Soludo said the Labour Party candidate was playing a game with his election bid, adding that Obi did not have the necessary structure in place to win the presidency on the Labour Party platform. The governor stated this in an article which he wrote yesterday, which he titled, "History Beckons and I Will Not Be Silent." Well, part of the article which he wrote is there on your screen, which we will touch on as the program progresses. Well, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, today replied Governor Soludo, and he said that he did his little as governor of Anambra State and has urged the incumbent governor, Chukwuma Soludo, to also do his best in the state as an economist. Professor, he was talking back to Professor Soludo when he was attending an event in Lagos at the Lagos Business School Alumni Conference. Take a listen to the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi.
Unless 75 billion, if you go and sell the dollars today, even at 600, it's 150 billion. Plus 60 billion of the naira is 210 billion. Even if that one is wasted, anytime so that invested is still there. When you spread your investment, some will go up, some will come down. But overall, the company is still there, the company is still doing well, it's still part of a global chain and everything. I needed to explain it not because I'm defending comment by my brother. My brother is the brother, I miss my brother, we're very close, I remain prayerful for him. For other things which I didn't succeed, God has given him opportunity to do it and succeed. For me, yes. So if there's anything pending, governance you don't finish. People are still in government in America. So you stop where you stop, other people will continue from there. I don't look back. He's the governor of my state. I'll always, he's my senior brother. He's even more intelligent because he's a professor, I'm a trader. So he knows more. So he'll be able to do things better than I'm doing it. You know, I've done my little one as a trader. Now the professor is there. He will do his own as a professor. The schools that didn't roof, you roof them. That's how government goes.
We'll get some reactions from the Labour Party tonight on not only what Governor Soludo said, but some of the realities of the analysis of the politics and election which came out of the article of Governor Soludo. We'll be getting some reaction from the Labour Party leadership tonight on the program, so stay with me, everyone. But let's quickly touch on one other matter that is of very significant importance, and that is education. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, are not happy with their employer, the federal government, and they have plans to embark on a one-day nationwide protest over the payment of half salaries to lecturers by the federal government in October. Let's now get to hear from the leadership of ASUU. I'm being joined by Professor Emmanuel Oshedeke, who is the president of ASUU. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
What is going on? We are in November.
Yes.
But at the end of October, what happened to your salaries?
Well, at the end of October, we were surprised that for the first time in the history of academics, we are hearing prorated payment, which is against all the rule of all the university, against the condition of service of all the university. But the condition of every university can go around. If you are employed before 15th of February, before middle of the month, you are paid your full salary. And this one is even different because we were on strike and the legislative arm of government intervened. And because we trusted them, I thought they were speaking for the government, because they also met with the president, we were quite sure that the issue would be resolved in the interest of Nigerian students, in the interest of the parents, in the interest of our country. But to our surprise, the Accountant General Office decided to pay what some people refer as prorated, some refer as half, some refer as whatever. And it is very sad because if you look at it, professors who are on the same salary scale, some got 200,000, some got 180, some got 90, and what have you? They just pay whatever.
Is that the first salary you'll be getting for the last 8 months?
Yes, not 8 months, yes.
None of your members was paid any salary?
Nothing. So that is how we have done.
Are you surprised that the federal government is taking this move? You've heard from the minister that it is no work, no pay.
It is so sad that we have such a person as a minister. And the question we have asked ourselves, and I think Nigeria to ask, can a Minister of Labour direct the Minister of Finance on what to do? The answer is no. We are under the Ministry of Education. And we thought that anybody that can give such directive, who monitor what we do, through the NUC is the Minister of Labor, of Education.
The Ministry of Education is your employer.
It's your employer. So
what is the role of the Minister of Labor?
He has nothing. He's an interloper.
So
like we have used the word before.
But he was a conciliator. The ministry was a conciliator. The minister was a conciliator.
The issue, if you are calling conciliator, it has gone beyond him. He has gone to court, which means he has lost his rights as a conciliator. Once he had taken this case to industrial court, which means he has lost that his role as a conciliator. He has no say again. But he's still interloping. And we have found that it was still actually wrote to the Minister of Finance, personally, not directed, that he should stop our salary.
Do you think this is personal?
It's just personal. If you have taken the case to court.
Why do you think it's personal?
Well, that question you should ask him. That you should be asking, because we are surprised. Because having taken the case to the court, by all right, his hands are tied. He has no business with what we do. It's the Minister of Education who we are working, and the speaker who intervened, on whose intervention we call up the strike because of the issue. He said that one, they are going to pay us back. You read it's all over the paper. Backlog of our salary because ASUU is different from other union. You can go. You can as you can send your member around all Nigerian universities. What we are doing now is doing what we could do to clean up what we have in the bag. In my university, we are starting an exam in 2 weeks' time on 2020-2021 academic session. Then when we finish immediately, we won't have break. We will start 2021, 2022. And maybe by next year, we'll be able to meet up with it because we'll forfeit our leave, forfeit our holidays.
So it is official. That's what you have directed all your members.
Yes.
That you need to catch up.
And they are doing exactly. You can go around. Like I said, it's better go and check what they are doing.
So the worry was that how would you be able to catch up on the lost 8 months that you have been on strike compared to other private universities? Because you look at it, if there was anyone that was admitted on October last year into the university across board, whether private or public, they are made in the public where your members are operating, had gone on strike since February. That means some of them who had entered in 100 level perhaps will be concluding or will be in 200 level by now. But their mates in public university will still be in the first semester of 100 level. So how do you think, because by next year they will be in 300 level, how do you think that they can catch up?
I will explain to you. A typical session in the university is 32 weeks. 2 weeks first semester, 16 weeks first semester, 16 weeks second semester, which is 32 weeks. In a normal session, at the end of those 32 weeks, the lecturer go on what we refer to as vacation. Time for you to mark your script, time for you to do all you want to do your research on vacation, mostly between 2 and 3 months. Then you come back in September, October, and start a new year. What our members are going to do, they will sacrifice that leave, or you call it vacation, and spend it so that a typical year is about 56 weeks or so.
So it's a directive?
Yes, so our members, it's a 52.
No, I'm asking that this is not discretionary. It is a directive from ASUU to all lecturers.
Yes, you can.
That is what you've done.
You see, we synergize with the vice chancellors and pro-chancellors. And you can ask any of them, you can call any of them. So what we will do now is that if you remove 32 from 50, I can't remember, 50-something weeks, you have a whole session, a semester. Another semester that you are going to cover within the year by sacrificing your leave and whatever. So in the next 2 or 3 years, these same people who were admitted will graduate the same thing because we are going to make sacrifice to cover the backlog of what we're supposed to do during those strikes. That's what has happened all over the time. We are forgiving our leave, for our time. Not because we created it, because the government created it. If government had intervened when we started the strike, or if they had intervened before we started the strike, when NIREC and co intervened, we wouldn't go on strike. If they have come on to discuss with us and reach an agreement within 1 or 2 weeks, there won't be a strike. As I speak to you, the University of California is on strike. You read it. I can assure you will not last 3 days because they value education. They will intervene immediately and resolve it.
Because the calculation was that sometimes early October was when the court said university lecturers should resume work. And we had the Minister of Labor here who said he's expecting the university lecturers to go back to work. And were you assuming that almost a week and a half was gone in that October before your colleagues went back to work? Or can you remember vividly what date you went back to work?
Let me explain to you. We went back to work on two grounds. One is the industrial court ruling, one intervention by the Speaker of the House of Rep. You are aware of it?
Yes.
The industrial court ruling, and by the advice of our legal advisor, that until you get the certified true copy of the judgment, you cannot obey it. Because you don't know what the judgment, you get it to certified true copy.
When did you get it certified?
We got it certified just a few days to when we call out the strike.
When was that?
I can't remember the exact date.
But it was in the mid of October.
Close to the day the time we call out the strike. You can check.
So I'm saying that you did not, if your colleagues resumed work in October, you probably wouldn't have worked for the whole of October. You had worked perhaps only for 2 weeks.
Let me explain to you.
Is that a fact?
It's not correct. Let me explain to you. University lecturers are not casual laborers, and there's no way it is in the world. The civil service work from 8 to 4. That is working hour. You are aware of that. Academic can work from 6 to 8 in the night. So we are not casual laborers. We are not paid on daily basis. If you try to casualize university lecturer, you have killed the system. You can ask anywhere in the world. You can ask anywhere in the world. If you are an adjunct, you come to teach maybe 2 weeks in a semester and teach the course. So university lecturers are not casual laborers. You talk about prorated payment when you're talking about casual. So
explain to Nigerians, perhaps those who do not understand what not get what the prorated payment means. What does it mean?
Prorated payment that you are paying people per day, per working hour.
That's what federal government did.
That's what they are saying, which is against the rule.
Have they paid that money?
Which
the
money?
Salary, the prorated October prorated salary.
Well, we said that they paid some 200. They pay whatever they liked using IPs.
Did you get your own?
I got a pittance. Pittance. University lecturers are not casual laborers. So now you cannot casualize university. You see, let me tell you what we are doing, Sean. You know what they're doing? They are casually, very calculatedly killing the Nigerian public universities in their own interest. Most of them have private universities. They have their children abroad. You are casualizing academics, so professors.
Let me.
It's so sad. It never happened anywhere in the world.
So what was your? Because I understand that your colleagues are making a move. What's the move about?
Move for what?
To protest the.
Is anything wrong in protesting when you are hot?
I'm asking what the action.
No, they have a right. I remember have a right to protest because they have been hot.
So what was the action going to be?
Well, you had it now. They had congresses to brief the public. Very simple.
What is the action?
Action? Yes. They had a congress. After the congress, they went out and rally and briefed Nigerian people. When you join, you look at the one in Lagos today. Even the ordinary students join, the parents join, the civil society, they all join because they know it's wrong. You can check what happened in Lagos.
So you are saying that you will be absent from the classroom. That's what.
Please, we have meetings. If I'm having a meeting, does that mean I'm from classroom? Is that a strike? Is academic not entitled to have meetings?
Let me allow you to listen to what the Minister of Labor said on this program.
Well, you can. I won't listen.
No, let Nigerians.
I will listen because
Nigerians will be the judge.
I don't give a damn about that minister. No. I don't work under him. I work with the Minister of Education. I won't listen to whatever he's saying.
I know you are upset about this matter, but what we're looking for is a solution to the education problem.
He is not looking for a solution. He should allow the Minister of Education to handle this issue. He should allow the Speaker. The number 4 man in the country. He's number 4th man in the country.
What did the Speaker say to you? He said that you should go back to work and all your backlog was
all over the place. He wrote to us. I will give you a copy of the letter. He wrote to us, signed.
That what?
That they will pay backlog of the salary. They will, all sorts of things. They are there. I will send it to you.
All right. Let's listen to him.
You can listen to him.
And hear what he said. He said the federal government cannot afford all of this.
The Minister of Labor is not the federal government.
Let's take a listen to him.
Yeah, you can.
Saying 470 billion.
Yeah.
Allocated for wage structure review and stuff.
So you are saying that the federal government does not have what it
the
takes.
federal government is doing their own as per the conditionality of ability to pay.
But at the moment, you do not have it. Is that what it means? You don't have the wherewithal to be able to meet their demands.
Immediately now.
Yes.
It's in the 2023 budget. That is what education.
We are in 2022. We are in 2022.
No.
I'm saying immediately you do not have what it takes to meet their demands.
Of course. I'm happy that they have been told to go back,
which is what
to the classroom,
which is what you were praying the court to do.
Yes, the National Industrial Court.
Leaving your obligation to them, but you wanted court to force them back.
No, it's not my obligation. My obligation, my hands were tied.
On what?
But after 6 months, they have not called off a strike even when my office has apprehended it. Section 18 says you must, when apprehension is done, you call off.
That's a portion of the interview with the Minister of Labor. So he said his hands were tied.
You see?
And he said there were no payment. In fact, another portion of this interview, he said the time of promises that cannot be fulfilled is gone, and that all of those promises that are being made, that the federal government may not be able to fulfill it until next year, and those kind of demands have been captured in the next year budget. I'd like to get your reaction.
Let me explain this to the Nigerian people. Nigerian people should listen to me. When you look at the agreement that we reached with the New Bridge Committee, we have provided the opportunity to fund this system without passing through this, what he's talking about. In 1992, similar thing happened in 1992. And the Babangida government said, well, how can we fund this? And we gave them the means, which is the third fund today. In this agreement, we also have outlined what Nigeria should do without passing through this normal process to fund education. But they are not interested in reading those areas. They are looking at the monetary value without looking at the system. Any country without any ingenuity or how to raise money, as we are today, depending on petroleum, which is gone, you are heading for disaster. And we have provided that in the agreement, but they're not interested in looking at that. So I want to say this. Minister of Labor is not the Nigerian government. It's not. The person who can talk about finance is the Minister of Finance. The person who can talk about education is the Minister of Education. But you now appropriate all these issues. You are not the government. The Minister of Labor is not the government.
Is he not a part of the federal government?
But he's not the government.
He's a minister on the cabinet.
If he has said, I am, the letter I wrote to the Minister of Finance, if he already am directed by the president, then it's the government. When you say, I am directing you, minister to minister, it's not the government. If you do that, you have chaos. The Minister of Science and Technology would go to you.
So you think that this crisis is a direct personal crisis between you, ASUU, and the Minister of Labor?
You see, let me explain. You all watch him. When this strike started, he appropriated that he was the one who intervened. After about 5 months, you remember, he went to air that he had handed over. That he had never to Minister of Education. We should go to the Minister of Education and deal with the Minister of Education. We should leave him alone. You had it. It's all over. He announced on this, even on channels. And we went to the Minister of Education, and we are resolving the issues. He jumped in again. He jumped in again and went to court. The same man who said, I'm no more interested, go and sort out with your own minister, and went to court against the rule. When you have gone to court, it's no more within your power. It's not in the third arm of government, with judiciary. So why is he stepping in again? If I sue you to court today, and I start acting on the issue, it's prejudicial.
So what is your next line of action now, since the House of Reps Speaker says you will get your money? That is the promise he made.
Yes.
But the federal government said they don't have the capacity.
The federal government have not said so.
The minister said so.
The minister, I have told you over and over again, the Minister of Labor is not federal government. Why? So what the Minister of Education says it's not correct.
So you don't respect what the Minister of Labor says?
If we want to hear from our own Minister of Education, not Minister of Labor. Are we under Minister of Labor? It's education within the public. If you're going to go and defend budget in National Assembly, would the Minister of Labor go and defend the Minister of Education budget?
I spoke with the Minister of Education.
Yes.
And he said it is no work, no pay, no going back on that.
Yes. And the Speaker said what when you spoke? Have you spoken with the Speaker?
No, I have not spoken,
so
but I've seen this. I've seen this statement. That's what I'm saying. So you are saying that you want to hear from the Minister of Education, and I'm saying I've spoken with both of them.
We have not told us. What I'm saying, whatever the Speaker, the Minister of Education, is the one that's our minister.
But he has said no going back on, no work, no pay. He had an interview with China.
You're also aware that the Pro-Chancellor and VC met with the President of this country. And it was well recorded.
So,
and listen, and said, give me time, I will get back to you. You had it.
Mm-hmm. So
that's from the president.
So you take the...
Wait, the speaker went to him and said, give me time, I will also speak. We are waiting on that, not ministers. Because that had gone beyond the ministers.
So you are taking the words of the speaker seriously?
The speaker had given us time, and we have called him, he said, give me some time.
Let me ask you, Prof. Yes. I can imagine, to be a professor, you probably will spend nothing less than 27, 30 years on this job.
Yes.
Yeah, in the academics. From your own point of view, I mean, you have said on this program, times without number, that the education system is in comatose, if there's a problem. If there is one thing that you would tell the president of Nigeria today to fix the education system, what would that be? Imagining that the president is watching you right now. What would your suggestion be?
I would be so happy if the president is watching us.
Let's imagine he's watching right now.
Yes. 2 days ago, the central bank said, it was reported that the central bank indicated that in the past 7 years of this regime, we have paid $3.5 billion as school fees in another country. More than 3 times of what has been spent by this government in education in Nigeria. If the system is working, that money will be in Nigeria. That money, $3.7 billion we have paid to that country, we use to develop our infrastructure. If the system is working, we have foreign students we have in this past being here paying us $1. If it's working, we'll have people who will now be able to be trained in good laboratories in such a way that no Nigerian leader will run abroad for treatment. You attend our teaching hospitals. If Nigeria is working, we'll produce students who can think for the system. Graduates who can think for the system, who have the good practicals. 41-story building will not be collapsing. If we have a working university system, we'll be so happy and be happy and be proud of our universities, our secondary schools, our polytechnic, our college education, our primary schools. I want to appeal to the president that in the interest of future generation of Nigeria, in the interest of pride of Nigeria as giant of Africa, that we should ensure that our students don't run to Ghana, run to Benin, run to Kenya for universities. Rather, students from those who should come here to get quality education. So I appeal to the president that in the interest, resolve this issue and stop this drain of our intellectuals who are going on brain drain, who are running out of the country, our doctors who are running out of the country, in the interest of this country. And I appeal to the president in the interest of this country, of these poor people's children who cannot afford to go abroad, we must change the trajectory in such a way that our university will be the best as it was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke, thank you so much for your time tonight. Professor Oshodeke is the president of the Association of University Lecturers. Thank you so much indeed for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll take a break, everyone. And when we return, Dr. Doyin Okupe will be talking to us on what Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra said about the chances of the Labour Party and the 2023 presidential race. Stay with me, everyone. All of those issues and the controversies we'll bring to bear tonight. We'll be right back. Dr. Doyin Okupe is chieftain of the Labour Party. He joins us live from Lagos. Thank you so much, Dr. Okupe, for joining us tonight. We've heard in part what the presidential candidate of the Labour Party had to say to what Professor Charles Soludo has said. But for those who did not watch the program the day that I asked Professor Charles Soludo about some of the legacies of Mr. Peter Obi in Anambra State and whether or not what he will do, and those who perhaps maybe may not be able to connect the dots from what the earlier soundbite of Mr. Peter Obi that I played, let me allow them to listen again, Doc, and I'd like you to respond to what Professor Charles Soludo said on Politics Today a few days ago.
About the investments of either any of my predecessors. By the way, the one that you talk about, I don't know about that. I mean, I think there was something I read about somebody speculated about the value of whatever investment. What I've seen today, the value of those investments is what next to nothing. So let's leave that aside.
Let's get your reaction to this, Dr. Okupe.
Well, Professor Soludo is a free-born citizen of Nigeria. He occupies a very exalted position in the politics of Nigeria. He's the current governor of Anambra State. But basically, he has every right, to air his opinion on issues. It is the duty of the populace to cross-check facts. I'm glad that he says the investments are nothing to write home about. In other areas, we will not be talking about a governor trying to invest funds to, for future governors that will come, so that the state can prosper. Here we're talking about investment. He says the investment today do not mean anything. Very good. But you see, we are not talking about a governor who stole money, a governor who, instead of investing in the future of the state, has taken all the money, and put it in his pocket, or has given it to his cronies. This is what you cannot say about Peter Obi. You can say whatever you like. He is an honest man. He's transparent. He's accountable. He has integrity. He has honor. Soludo is there today. Obiano was there yesterday. We pray for life, and then we will see how everybody performs. For me, it's not an issue. That is just his opinion. He says the investments are not worth much. Oh, well, thank God. At least somebody had some thinking. Somebody had some correct thoughts that if I put this money in an investment, maybe, in future it will bring more money and the state can have access to more money. For me, it's fine. No problem with that.
Let me, we'll take in beats some of the statements made by Governor Soludo. Let me take some part and I'd like you to respond to it. There is a portion which I'd like you to look at, and I'm going to quote some part of it. He says, quote, "The brutal truth," in bracket, and some will say, God forbid, end of bracket, is that there are two persons or parties seriously contesting for president. The rest is exciting drama. Of course, Peter Obi will get some votes and may probably win in Anambra State as, quote, homeboy. But Anambra is not Nigeria. If he likes, I can even campaign for him, but that won't change much. What's your reaction on these? It's touched on the chances of your presidential candidate and the Labour Party.
Ordinarily, I will not really want to join issues with Soludo. But, so that people do not get disinformed by his, very unsound judgment of political status of the Labour Party in the Nigerian context. That is the only reason why I will, with a lot of restraint, say one or two words. He must be living in another planet. I mean, if he's so, I don't know what is blinding him for him to say that there are only two people in this parliament, and it's only APC and PDP. Even a blind person, even a young child of 9 years old, know that this is absolute fallacy. Professor Soludo must be indulging himself in some self-deluding or political delusions. Today, of all 90% of polls done today says that Peter Obi is well ahead of the other contestants. So, it's no longer news that it's a three-cornered race. And even in this three-cornered race, we are no longer the third force. We are now, we have now taken over. We have bypassed the two establishments, and these two are the ones that are now contesting for second and third positions. So, Professor Soludo's pronouncements have nothing to do with reality or common sense, or even what is on ground. but I said before, ordinarily, but it is just that, I will not, I mean, the Director General of the campaign, and it is my duty to disabuse the minds of fallacies that, do come against us. We know these things will happen, and we are prepared for it. But the Nigerian people, Soludo can say whatever he likes, but the Nigerian people know what is current, what is real. And I'm so happy that he said, at least he considered that Peter Obi will win Anambra State. Well, that's good news. Where he messed it up completely, which you have not quoted, and then he made the whole thing look so ridiculous. And I don't want to use bad language here. When you say that Peter Obi will get 25% in maybe 4 states of the federation, that is a joke. That should not come from an educated Nigerian, from a professor. Well, this is politics, and in politics, it's an all-comers game. Professor Soludo is a professor of economics, I think. He's not a soothsayer, and he's not a prophet, and definitely is not too grounded politically. Otherwise, let me take you around. Let me take you to these things. Look, the 5 states in the East, come rain, come sunshine, nobody
say that from the internal state-by-state polling available to him, he said Peter Obi was on course to get 25% in 5 states as at August this year. The latest polling shows that it is down to 4 states and declining.
Listen, Sheon, that's a joke, and it is a humongous lie. And what makes a reasonable man, an educated man, an intelligent man like Soludo, say such blatant lie? It has to be something very deep. The gentleman seems to be so consumed with whatever negative or evil passion that is on his mind that he's totally befuddled and confused. I was just trying to take you through. Go and ask anybody, even go and ask a mechanic in my village, in Peru. Look, everybody knows that, there's nothing that will happen. 80% of Igbo people will vote for Peter Obi in this presidential election. I'm not talking about gubernatorial. That's 5 states. In the South states, I do not see any of the 2 leading candidates that will come close to Peter Obi. That's a fact. I'm here not to deceive anybody. We've just come back from Edo State. Edo was a phenomenon. It's total phenomenon. Even the persons I bought suya from, a outside gentleman that I bought suya from, was telling me Obi. We will win in Edo State. We will win in River State. We will win in Bayelsa. We will win in Cross River. We will win at Paibom. That is 11 states. 11 states. When we come to the Southwest, we may not win any major state in the Southwest, but we will have a minimum, and anybody can write this down. Take me for my words on this matter. We will win a minimum of 25 states in all the 6 states of the Southwest. We will win outrightly in 4 states in the North Central. 4 states. The remaining 2, that is Kwara and Kogi.
Let me jump in quickly.
So
Let me jump in quickly. Professor Soludo might be an economist. Apart from the permutations that have to do with a few mathematics here and there are a few literary lessons that one can take from it. And I've seen a few figure of speech that he used. Part of it was a sarcasm in one of the paragraphs. He says, of course, Labour Party won governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun on social media and via phantom polls, while getting barely 2,000 votes on ground. Creating a credible third force for presidential election in Nigeria requires a totally different strategy and extreme hard work. Beyond the sarcasm and perhaps the hard truth that Professor Soludo says that he's putting out in that article, could there be some lessons that your party and your presidential candidate and your campaign could have drawn from Professor Soludo as that article, is a politician who has won an election. So you understand in some way the ramification of how election works in Nigeria. Could you, for a moment, take away the issue of the messenger and look at the message? Could there be some lesson on perhaps some hard work that will be put in this campaign by your presidential campaign council?
Sheon, I'm sorry to disappoint you. In these circumstances, the message and the messenger are warped. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing to gain from either the message or the messenger. I'm a very, you know me, I'm a very objective politician. If Soludo made sense, I will agree wholesomely. Yes, we went out in Osun. The Osun election, the primaries were already done ever before we even joined the party. And we had nothing, we had very little. We did not even go there to campaign. We just went there just about a couple of days, before the election. And, Osun is one state that is highly polarized and that has been highly polarized between two parties, APC and PDP, for the last 22 years. We had no chance in Osun. But, we still had to go there. That's it. So, being sarcastic on Osun, is just the joke is on the person who is playing the sarcasm. And ordinarily, I've said it before, honestly speaking, we really do not have time for these bickerings and all these pseudo analysts and a professor who wants to become a prophet. This is not the issue. We are focused on our presidential campaign, and we're doing so well. And he should ask his friends in Abuja, and maybe that is why he's been recruited to come and do this hatchet job. It doesn't mean anything to us. We are focused, the young people. Let me
ask again, Dr. Okupe, apologies to cut in. The fact that you're a politician, so you know that, for example, if Dr. Okupe is not relevant in Ikperu, your village in Ogun State, it's a fundamental problem. Now, every politics, they say, is local. What could have been responsible for the kind of response that has come against Mr. Peter Obi from his own home state governor? That carries a lot of meaning, isn't it?
It carries no weight. It is meaningless. It is just the passion of a deluded person who is perhaps, has some underlying intentions or aspirations. You can see the calculations is easy. Demolish and demolish.
Please, please kindly mind the language, the use of language. There are some words that might be too extreme to be used on a person like a governor of a state. So please, in the choice of words, kindly be in mind. Don't forget that this is a family television also. Please go ahead.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Now, the thing is that, it is quite commonsensical that, if I can demolish Peter Obi, this, in 2023, and Atiku Abubakar of PDP is running for only one term, then I can be compensated, since I'm a professor, I'll be a current governor, then I can be better placed, and be, if you look, I'm being in position to run for presidency in 2027. If you read that article properly, not only did Soludo try to discredit Peter Obi, he also tried to discredit the regional, socio-cultural organizations like Afenifere, making a joke of Afenifere's endorsement and casting aspersions on the Igbo. Yes, this, and the whole idea here, the lie came out of the bag. All right, the lie came out of the bag when Soludo tends, to try to appeal to the sensibilities of the Igbos, try to attract leadership to himself. Leadership emerges you know, from the quality
Dr.
of the person.
Apologies.
And for
Let's wrap up now quickly, and I'll allow you for your final thought, just in 30 seconds. The elections are just a few months away. Should the permutations of Professor Charles Soludo comes true after February, what would you do? Just in 30 seconds.
Excuse me. It is an unreasonable permutation. It is unrealistic. It has no basis in politics and in reality. So I will be wasting my time here, pondering on what I'm going to do. In this election, Peter Obi is the candidate to beat. Let me tell you, people are saying, nobody can win on first ballot. That's not true. From what we have and from what we are doing. For instance, let me tell you, we've set the record standard again. We are campaigning in each of the senatorial districts in every state that we go. We're going to do that throughout the federation. You vote for people that you see, and you hear, you know, and you believe. The Nigerian people believe in Peter Obi. The young people of Nigeria believe in Peter Obi. It's what Soludo has said is just something,
Dr. Okupe,
cannot
we are totally out of time. I must sincerely thank you indeed for your time tonight, and I wish you and the campaign the very best in the race. Thank you so much indeed. Dr. Doyin Okupe is the Director General of the Labour Party and the Peter Obi presidential campaign. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm sure Kimale. God bless Nigeria.